In 1972, Olof Palme, then Prime Minister of Sweden, accused the US military of ecocide, of its use of Agent Orange during the Vietnam War. The deployment of the herbicide created extreme environmental destruction and left millions of people disabled. For now, the idea of charging humans with ecocide may seem idealistic, but it is exactly that shift in mindset that may soon be required. Scientists warn that irreversible climate tipping points are already being reached and time is running out to prevent an environmental catastrophe. Advocates for ecocide laws say that their goal is to both implement legal deterrence mechanisms and to advance public awareness, so that real and lasting change can happen.
Hello everyone, I am Kanchan and welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services, our premier institution for preparing for civil services in India. Today, I am here for a daily news and editorial analysis for 5th and 6th of March 2024, and this editorial analysis is going to be important for all three stages of UPSC, which are UPSC prelims, mains and interview process. And apart from UPSC exams, this editorial analysis is going to be important for all the government exams in India. So without further delay, let us begin the analysis. Recently, Belgium became the first European country to recognize ecocides as an international crime, and in this context, this news becomes important for UPSC prelims perspective and also for the GS3 of UPSC mains. And under GS3, this topic falls under the syllabus: environmental pollution and the degradation. In this topic, we are going to discuss about the ecocide. We'll understand what is ecocides and India's perspective on the ecocide. Then we'll do the mapping of the Belgium and we'll understand about the Belgium as a country in Europe. Then we'll discuss the PYQ that has been asked from the similar topic. So let us begin the analysis. By recognizing ecocide as national and international crimes, Belgium aims to punish the corporations by preventing and punishing the severe environmental degradation such as the extensive oil spills. So for this reason, this topic is important for UPSC GS3 perspective. And what is ecocide? Ecocide is considered a form of environmental crime and it is often associated with the significant negative impact on biodiversity, ecosystem and human well-being. So ecocide is basically a form of environmental crime. And so far as ecocide is concerned, there is negative impact on biodiversity, ecosystem and human well-being. The definition of ecocide was provided by the independent expert panel for the legal definition of ecocide formed by the Stop Ecocide Foundation. So this point is important from the prelims perspective. You need to know which foundation first defined the ecocide. So ecocide was defined by the Stop Ecocide Foundation. And as we just discussed, by recognizing ecocide as a crime, the Belgium aims to hold the individuals and corporations liable to be punished under the environmental crime law. Apart from Belgium, there are many countries who has declared the ecocide as an environmental crime. For instance, France has declared the ecocide as an environmental crime in 2021 and Ukraine had declared in 2001 and Kazakhstan in 1997, Kyrgyzstan in 1997, Russia in 1996, Tajikistan in 1998, Uzbekistan in 1994, Vietnam in 1990, etc. But India is yet to make the ecocide as an offense. So ecocide is not an offense in India till date. So these are the important facts about the ecocide. Now let us do the mapping of the Belgium and let us understand in brief about the Belgium. So talking about the Belgium, Belgium is a federal and constitutional monarchy and it has been divided into two main linguistic and cultural regions. And Flanders and Wallonia are two regions and the people in Flanders speak the Dutch language and the people living in Flanders are called Flemish people. And people living in Wallonia speak the French language. So the Flanders and the Wallonia are two main linguistic and cultural regions in the Belgium. And the Belgium is also called the cockpit of Europe because largest number of battles in Europe has been fought in the Belgium. So this is an important general knowledge fact you need to know about. And the capital of Belgium is located in Brussels and the Brussels is also the headquarter of the European Union. So these are the important points that you need to know about the Belgium and these points are important from the prelims perspective. So this is the map of Belgium and Belgium is surrounded by Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, France, etc. And on the northern side there is North Sea. So you need to know about the countries which surrounds the Belgium. So this map is important for the UPSC prelims perspective in mapping because in UPSC you might be asked the question that the Belgium is surrounded by which of the following countries, or the Belgium shares borders with which of the following countries. So, you need to know about countries which shares the border with Belgium. So, these were the important facts about the Belgium. Now, let us look at the PYQ that has been asked from the similar topic. UPSC in 2019 asked this simple question related to Environmental Protection Act, and the question is, the Environmental Protection Act of 1986 empowers the Government of India to, statement 1 is, the state the requirement of public participation in the process of environmental protection and the procedure and the manner in which it is sought. Statement 2 is, lay down the standards for the emissions or the discharge of environmental pollutants from the various sources. Which of the statements given above are correct? So, in this question basically the powers of Government of India has been asked, or the powers that has been given to the Government of India under the Environmental Protection Act of 1986 has been asked, and the statement 1 talks about whether the state or the Government of India can require the public participation in the process of environmental protection or not. So, using your common sense you can easily answer this question, because Government of India can always ask the people of India to participate in the environmental protection. So, this statement is always correct, and so far as the statement 2 is concerned, the statement 2 talks about whether the Government of India can lay down the standards for the emission of the discharge of environmental pollutants or not. This statement is also correct, because the Government of India can always lay down the standards for emissions or the discharge of environmental pollutions. So, the statement 2 is also correct. C, which is both 1 and 2. So, this type of question is asked in UPSC, and in this type of question you need to do the critical thinking, and sometimes you can answer this type of question by using your common sense as well. So, you should not miss this type of question in UPSC. So, now let us move into another topic of discussion for today. Before I move into another topic of discussion for today, I have an important announcement for you. Those who are preparing for UPSC Prelims 2024, 𝐖𝐨𝐫𝐤 All India Test Series program of Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services is must attempt for all, because this test series contains the 4900 high quality questions curated by the experts from Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services, and this test series also contains the recorded discussion classes on these questions. And most important part of this 𝐖𝐨𝐫𝐤 All India Test Series program is that the money will be refunded to the students if the students finds this test to be unsatisfactory. So, this is a golden opportunity for you all, and you can register yourself for this test by scanning the QR code here, and you can also get the details of this test in the link given in the description section. So, this was an important announcement for you all. Now, let us move into another topic of discussion for today. Recently, the central government extended the ban on 𝐸𝐺𝐻 𝐸 for 5 years, and in this context this news becomes important for UPSC prelims perspective and also for the GS paper 3 of the UPSC mains. And under GS3 this topic falls under the syllabus internal security, and in this topic we are going to discuss about the unlawful association. We will discuss what is the unlawful association in India, then we will discuss the key features of UAPA Act, then we will discuss the criticisms of UAPA, and lastly we will discuss the PYQ that has been asked from the similar topic. So, let us begin the analysis. So, as we just discussed, the context of the news is that the Government of India has extended the ban on 𝐸𝐺𝐻 Jammu and Kashmir for 5 more years under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act or the UAPA Act of 1967. And so far as 𝐸𝐺𝐻 is concerned, this outfit was initially declared unlawful on February 2019. So, this ban has been imposed in 𝐸𝐺𝐻 since 2019. And 𝐸𝐺𝐻 Jammu Kashmir has been involved in fostering terrorism, anti-India propaganda leading to secessionist movements in Jammu and Kashmir. So, basically this 𝐸𝐺𝐻 fosters the secessionist sentiments in the Jammu and Kashmir. So, for this reason this 𝐸𝐺𝐻 has been declared as unlawful association under UAPA Act of 1967. And talking about the unlawful association refers to an organization or group that has been deemed illegal or prohibited by the government due to its involvement in activities that pose the threat to national security, sovereignty or integrity of India. So, any organization that poses threat to the national security, sovereignty or the integrity of India can be called an unlawful association under UAPA Act of 1967. So, these were the important facts about the 𝐸𝐺𝐻 and the unlawful association. Now, let us discuss the details of the UAPA Act and the key features of the UAPA Act. The Unlawful Activities Prevention Act or the UAPA Act is an anti-terrorism law in India, and this was enacted in 1967, and this act assigns the absolute power to the central government to declare an individual or an organization as an unlawful association, and the central government can do this by publishing this matter in the official gazette of the Government of India. So, the central government under this act has the absolute power to declare individual as well as organization as the unlawful association. So, these were the important facts about UAPA. Now, talking about the key features of UAPA, under the UAPA both the Indian and foreign nationals can be charged. So, not only the nationals but the foreign nationals can also be charged under the UAPA, and it will be applicable to the offenders in the same manner even if the crime is committed in the foreign land outside India. So, even if the crime is committed outside India, the UAPA will be applicable. So, both the foreigners and the nationals are treated equally under the UAPA Act, and it has the death penalty and the life imprisonment as the highest punishments. So, these are the punishments under the UAPA Act, and under UAPA the investigating agency can file charge sheet in the maximum of 180 days after the arrest, and the duration can be extendable further after intimating the court. So, the charge sheet under the UAPA must be filed within the 180 days, and the duration of the filing of charge sheet can be extended only after intimating the court. So, only after the approval of court the deadline of charge sheet can be extended. And as per the UAPA Amendment Act of 2019, the Act empowers the Director General of the National Investigation Agency, which is NIA, to grant approval of the seizure or attachment of the property after the case is investigated by the said agency. So, basically the NIA has been empowered to confiscate or seize the properties of the people. So, NIA can investigate the case, and they can also attach the property of the criminals. And as per the act, only the officers of NIA who are above the rank of inspector can investigate the cases against the terrorism. So, the rank of the officer who investigate the case under the UAPA must be above the rank of inspector, and the UAPA Amendment Act of 2019 provided that even the individuals can be declared as the terrorists. So, before this Amendment Act of 2019, only the organizations or the associations could be declared as the terror organizations, but after this amendment, even the individuals can be declared as the terror organization. Now, let us discuss the criticisms of the UAPA Amendment Act and the UAPA Act in detail. So far as the criticism of the UAPA Amendment Act and the UAPA Act is concerned, this act has been criticized as the violative of the fundamental rights, because this act criminalizes the dissent and the protest, and this can be used against the activists, journalists, students and the minorities which raise the voice against the government. So, this is an important criticism of the UAPA Act and the UAPA Amendment Act. And the second criticism of the UAPA Amendment Act and the UAPA Act is that the law lacks the adequate safeguards and the accountability mechanism to prevent the misuse and abuse of power by the authority, because the act gives the central government the sole discretion to designate individuals as terrorists without any judicial review or opportunity for appeal. So, under this act, central government can designate any individual or organization as the terror organization, and this decision of the central government is outside the judicial review or the appeal. So, basically the individuals and organizations who has been declared as the terror organizations cannot appeal their case against the Government of India in any High Court or the Supreme Court of India. And this situation shifts the burden of proof to the accused. So, basically the accused has the burden to prove themselves as not guilty. So the burden of proof has basically been shifted from the government to the people or the accused person. So, this shift in the burden of proof from the Government of India to the accused makes it difficult to obtain the bail, and also this might lead to unfair trial. So, this is an important criticism of the UAPA Act. So, talking about the third criticism of UAPA Act and UAPA Amendment Act, the UAPA Amendment Act goes against the federal structure of the Constitution of India, and the UAPA Amendment Act takes away the law and order from the state government to the central government. So, this provision of the UAPA Act and UAPA Amendment Act affects the federal structure of the Constitution of India. The last important criticism of UAPA Act and UAPA Amendment Act is that there is low conviction rate under the UAPA Act, because as per the Union Home Ministry, only 2.2% of the cases registered under the UAPA between 2016 and 2019 ended up in the conviction by courts. So, only the 2.2% of the people who have been booked under the UAPA Act has been convicted by the courts under this UAPA Act. So, this is a very low rate of conviction under the UAPA Act, and this shows that law is used to harass or intimidate the innocent people rather than to curb the terrorism. So, these were the important criticisms of the UAPA Act and UAPA Amendment Act. So, these were the important criticisms of the UAPA Act and UAPA Amendment Act. Now, let us look at the PYQ that has been asked from the similar topic. UPSC in 2019 asked this question related to NIA Amendment Act and the UAPA Amendment Act of 2019, and this question was asked in UPSC Mains 2019. And the question was that the Indian government has recently strengthened the anti-terrorism law by amending the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of 1967 and also the NIA Act. Analyze the changes in the context of the prevailing security environment while discussing the scope and the reasons for opposing the UAPA by the human rights organizations. So, this part particularly talks about the criticisms of NIA Act, and in this part you need to answer the provisions of the recent amendments that has been made in the NIA Act and the UAPA Amendment Act. So, we just discussed the recent amendments that has been made under the UAPA Act and the NIA Act. So, you can quote those amendments which have been made in these acts, and we just discussed the criticisms of the UAPA Amendment Act of 2019 as well. So, you can quote those facts here. So, you need to know about the recent amendments which have been made by the government of India, and you also need to know about the criticism of those amendments. So, this type of question is asked in UPSC. So, try answering this question at home. Now, let us move into another topic of discussion for today. Recently, the Prime Minister of India inaugurated the 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock in Jantar Mantar in Ujjain, and this topic is mostly important for the UPSC prelims perspective. And in this topic, we are going to discuss about the 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock, what is it, then we will discuss the reason why the Ujjain was chosen for installing the 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock, then we will look at the basic map of the Ujjain and also the states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes through. So, talking about the 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock, it is the world's first Vedic clock, and it is designated to display the time according to the ancient Indian traditional Panchnag. So, Panchnag is basically time circulation system, and this Panchnag was used in ancient time to calculate time based on the position of the sun, moon and other planets for every day of the year on the fixed place and on the fixed day. So, basically the Panchnag was the ancient system of calculating time in India, and this Vedic clock has been positioned on the 85-foot tower in the Jantar Mantar in Ujjain, which is located in Madhya Pradesh, and it also provides the information on the planetary position, Muhurat, and also the astrological calculations and the predictions. So, the planetary positions, Muhurat, astrological calculations and predictions are also done by this Vedic clock, and in addition to this, it also indicates the Indian Standard Time and the Greenwich Mean Time. So, the GMT and IST are also calculated by this 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock, and the clock will calculate time from one sunrise to another. So, the time gap is between the two sunrise, and the reading will start from 12 with the total time of 30 hours. So, basically the 1 hour of the Vedic clock will contain the 48 minutes. So, instead of 24 hours, the time period of this Vedic clock is 30 hours, because in 1 hour of this 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock there is 48 minutes instead of 60 minutes. So, these were the important facts about the 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock that you need to know about from the prelims perspective. Now, let us discuss why the Ujjain was chosen for installing the 𝐵𝐼𝐸 Vedic clock in India. So far as Ujjain is concerned, Ujjain has the rich heritage in timekeeping which dates back to many centuries. And according to the Indian astronomers, the Tropic of Cancer is supposed to pass from the Ujjain. So, as per the ancient astronomers from India, the Tropic of Cancer actually passed through the Ujjain, but which is not true in the actual geographical sense. And as per the ancient Indian astronomers, it is also the 0-degree meridian of the longitude. So, in ancient time, basically we can say that Ujjain was equivalent to the Greenwich. So, before the 82.5 east longitude was adopted as the Indian Standard Time, the longitude of Ujjain, which is the 75.78 east, was considered as the Bharat's Standard Time. So, The 𝐤 was basically the Indian Standard Time in the ancient time, and the Vikram Panchnak and the Vikram Sambat calendars were also released from the 𝐤. So, the place of 𝐤 so far as the Indian Standard Time is very special. So, this is the reason why the 𝐤 was chosen for installing the Vedic clock in India. Now, talking about the GMT, GMT or the Greenwich Mean Time is the mean or the average solar time at Greenwich meridian or the prime meridian or 0° longitude. So, basically the 0° longitude is also called the Greenwich Mean Time, and the time displayed in the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, which is located in London, is always the GMT. So, whatever time is shown in the Royal Observatory in Greenwich is the GMT, and when the sun is at the highest point exactly above the prime meridian at the Royal Observatory, it is the 12 noon at Greenwich. So, this GMT is considered as the standard time around the world. So, the countries around the world basically takes the reference of Greenwich Mean Time to calculate their standard time. So, these were the important facts about the Vedic clock and the Greenwich Mean Time. Now, let us look at the map of the states through which the Tropic of Cancer in India passes through. So, the map you can see here is the map of 𝐤 in the ancient time, and this is the location of 𝐤, and in the ancient time it was considered that the 0° meridian, which is currently called the GMT, was supposed to pass through the 𝐤, and this was considered the Tropic of Cancer. But currently the Tropic of Cancer lies just below this line, and this blue line is the current Greenwich Mean Time, and it passes through the Greenwich and the Atlantic Oceans. So, this was the map of the 0° meridian and the Tropic of Cancer as per the ancient Indian astronomers. And talking about the Tropic of Cancer passes through the 8 states, which are Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Tripura, Mizoram and West Bengal. So, these are the states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes through, and the nearest city of the Tropic of Cancer is the Udaipur. So, the Udaipur, which is located in somewhere here in Tripura, is the nearest city to the Tropic of Cancer, and the Mahi river in India is the only river that cuts the Tropic of Cancer twice. So, there is a Mahi river here, and this Mahi river cuts the Tropic of Cancer twice. So, these were the important facts that you need to know about the Tropic of Cancer and the states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes through. And this topic was also the last topic of discussion for today, and today as well I have got an important quote of the day for you. Now, let us look at the quote that I have got for you. Today's quote of the day is very important for the UPSC mains perspective. Aspirants can use this quote in UPSC in ethics paper and also in the essay paper, and the quote was given by the Mahatma Gandhi, and the quote is quote unquote, "An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind." So, this is an important quote of the day for you, and with that quote I am concluding today's session. We will meet again in the next video. Till then, take care.